Welcome to the jungle known as Tiger Talks Wrestling, live from Muskegon, Michigan. Motherfucker.
You are watching Tiger Talks Wrestling, live from Michigan.
Now, live from Muskegon, Michigan, this is Tiger Talks Wrestling.
Like, comment, subscribe, or be infected.
And welcome into Tiger Talks Wrestling. I'm your host, Tony. Joining me this time, a new face for everybody who's watching, John Zagorski. Welcome into the show, man.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome. We're here today for Survivor Series prediction show. Again, nobody in the views right now. That's okay. We'll get some people in eventually. A little side there.
Right.
Definitely Survivor Series best of the best. Got to give the whole tagline, I suppose, there. An interesting show that we've got coming tomorrow night.
This is true.
I get things removed from there. Get it to go away. That helps. There it goes. All right. I know there's 7 matches that they have set up for the show. And we'll dive into all those. We'll dive into a pretty big happening tomorrow night on Survivor Series as well. That. Jump right in to the opening contest of the show tomorrow night for the Survivor Series kickoff show. They don't really have a picture. They haven't really announced much about it, but there will be a dual-branded Battle Royal on the kickoff show. See if I can get that to update. There we go. I don't know anybody that's in it. They haven't really revealed anybody that's in it. So I'm assuming it'll probably just be everybody that's available.
I mean, that'd be one massive royal, battle royal.
Right? Guys-wise, of course. But who knows who all it'll be. You got the likes of Murphy that could be in there. Rey Mysterio could be in there. Dominic from SmackDown. Aleister Black. Daniel Bryan could even be in there.
You could even consider Big E.
Yes, Big E could be in there. We'll get into something about Big E later. But yes, that's several guys from SmackDown. There's several people from Raw that could be in there. I'm not going to go over the whole list of, well, could go over a whole list of the guys, but just a lot of names that are off the card that I'm assuming will be in that battle royal. Anyway,
They would have to be.
All right. One person was in and out. If we get anybody in here, I'll mention this again later too, but comment section, people can leave their predictions as we go along here. And that's still not showing me what I wanted it to. I'm going to go into it. I'm not really going to give a prediction for this match, though. It should, again, be interesting to see who all's in it. Not knowing who all's in it's the reason why I'm not going to give a prediction until we see who all's in it tomorrow night during the kickoff show.
Right.
Just figured to mention it. The kickoff does start at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Pay-per-view main card starts at 7. For anybody who doesn't know. Kickoff show will be on all platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and WWE Network. I think this is the first time it'll be on TikTok, so it'll definitely be interesting. All right. See if I can get something up here. Which match? Okay, that's the match I want to start with. Then we move into the main card. I could see this one potentially opening the show. Who knows for sure if it will, but I wouldn't be too surprised if it did. That being, of course, the Intercontinental Champion versus the United States Champion. He's got SmackDown Sami Zayn as the Intercontinental Champion going against Raw's leader of the Hurt Business, just about. They won't call him that, but That would be Mr. Bobby Lashley, the U.S. champion. So the first thing I'm going to mention about this match is Bobby Lashley's going in having dominated everybody's face on Raw over the last several weeks. Whereas Sami Zayn is coming off of losing an 8-man tag where he, to me, should not have any way, shape, or form been the one to have taken that pinfall in that match.
I mean, with the match coming up, no, he shouldn't have been, because that pretty much, you would think, ruined his chances completely.
Right? That means sometimes they do that the opposite way around, where the person that goes in on a losing streak picks up the win at the pay-per-view. But just to me, that makes no sense to have Sami Zayn out of the 4 guys on that team that you could have chosen from. You got Sami, King Corbin, who's in the men's 5-on-5 later. Then Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, who are doing nothing, who probably will be in the kickoff show, Battle Royal. And you pick Sami Zayn, who is your Intercontinental Champion, going in trying to defend SmackDown, lose the match. It just blows my mind. It's crazy. But either way, partially because of that, but mainly because it's Bobby Lashley. I got Bobby picking up the win here, getting Raw on the board, 1-0. Maybe 2-0 at that point. Who knows?
Well, as the easy point would be to go for Bobby Lashley. I think there's going to be a little bit of fluke in here, and somehow there's going to be outside help that costs Bobby the match, and somehow Sami Zayn gets it started for SmackDown.
Yeah,
I'm going Zayn.
it's possible. We'll see. That's fine. I didn't have that up all the way. Okay. I've read somewhere that it potentially could be a squash match if Lashley wins it. I could kind of see that, but we'll see what goes down.
Right.
So then we're going to jump into another match that I have issues with. As you got the tag team champions of both brands going against each other when it pops up here. You got the picture won't pop up. You know, eventually might. Raw Tag Team Champions. There it goes. The New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods facing the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. So here's the main thing that irks me. The fact that during the draft, you have these two teams swap brands, and then you just switch the titles. Hand over from having the Raw tag titles to now being the SmackDown Tag Team Champions and vice versa. I hated that. I don't know about you, but I hated it.
It made no sense to me. This should have been, I mean, if they knew they were going to get drafted to different brands, you should have put the titles on the line and made it more interesting.
Should have done something. As far as I'm concerned, when we had the tag champs of both brands kind of face each other back with Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro were the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and they went over to Raw and faced the Street Profits, who were the Raw tag champs at the time. I felt like they should have just unified the tag titles at that time. I know this would be one last match for Survivor Series, but still, there's not enough tag teams on either brand for there to be tag team titles on both brands, in my opinion.
Right, they just need to combine that tag team division, and it makes more sense in the long run.
Yeah, it does. But either way, we're stuck with this anyway. The Street Profits have had some fun banter with Big E on SmackDown over the last few weeks. We've seen these two teams team up in the 8-man tag last night on SmackDown. Had a little falling out at parts. Kofi hitting the wrong man during the match. But it should be a fun match. It's a dream match. I know that people have called it, and I would agree to see these two teams go at it. You got the best tag team in the world. My words, whether you like it or not, because that is the New Day. I don't care what anybody wants to say about the Young Bucks. Against the Street Profits, who are a very good up-and-coming tag team, in my opinion. They've got a long, long time that they're going to be around in this tag division. I'm going to throw my prediction out there real quick. Again, it's going to be a great match and very entertaining. I kind of think it'll be kind of like an Usos versus New Day situation here with this type of a match. But give props to the Usos there. But I think the Street Profits might go over in this one.
I mean, that's a good prediction.
Just good.
Part of me wants to say that the Street Profits would take it and be almost like a passing of the torch somehow. You have the New Day and then passing out to like basically the next best entertaining team.
Right.
But it's the New Day. Like you said, the best tag team in the world.
Yeah.
And yeah, you got Big Angelo Dawkins over there on Street Profits, but you got Kofi and Xavier, who many cases were the underdogs in New Day, really brought this team to life. And I'm sticking with the New Day picking up the win.
Fair enough. It was tough to pick one or the other team for this match, but either way,
basically they're facing each other, like down to skill wise.
Oh yeah. They'll go to a balls to the walls, I'm sure. Again, like I said, it'll be kind of reminiscent to the Usos and New Day feud, I have a feeling. Even though it's a one-off match, but for now. Right. Since we were talking about that Battle Royal, it'll be interesting to see how many, if not all, of Retribution ends up being in that Battle Royal, since they don't have anything scheduled right now.
Oh, just what we need. Another reason for Ali to be like the last person standing.
That wouldn't surprise me too much, to be honest, if they went that route.
Well, I'm not making a full prediction, but I think it's going to be someone from SmackDown. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, fair enough. I could see like a Daniel Bryan perhaps winning if he ends up being in there.
I was thinking someone more big, if you get my drift.
Yep, I got your drift. I could see him wanting to put Daniel Bryan putting his input in to have Big E win that match, since Daniel and Edge are two guys that are helping out with creative things backstage for both brands.
Right.
So before I go into the 5-on-5 matches, we'll talk about this one, and of course the other champion versus champions match will be the main event, so we'll talk about that last. These two women have had 4 matches against each other one-on-one this year. They're tied at 2 apiece. This one will be the tiebreaker. You got the Raw Women's Champion Asuka versus SmackDown Women's Champion Sasha Banks, the boss. The Empress versus the boss here. Of course, when you look back at those 4 matches, Bayley was very much so involved in each one of those 4 matches. So, this is different. This is one-on-one. There's no Bayley. However, there may not be a Bayley involved, but as we've seen on SmackDown last night, Carmella's not too far away. So, I've seen many people saying they think that Sasha should pick up the win here and prove that she's the standard, so as to speak, of the women's division. However, I have a feeling that Carmella is going to get involved in some way, shape, or form in this match, and that Asuka will pick up the win.
I agree with you. Asuka will pick up the win, but I don't think Carmella's going to get involved. I think it's already going to be in Sasha Banks' head, and that's what's going to end up costing her the match.
That could be a possibility as well. Either way, I have a feeling we'll see Carmella at some point, whether it's during or after this match again.
Oh, I think it's going to be after the match for sure. Nice kick to the face.
Or a couple again.
Yeah. And then a face buster. Finish it off.
Right. But the matches that these two women have had, it's potentially could steal the show tomorrow night at Survivor Series. Best of the best.
It's going to be a well-done technical match, too, with both being known for their submissions as well.
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting part. Will we see Sasha perhaps tap out to the Asuka lock again, or will Asuka potentially tap out to the bank statement? I think there's only one person that's made Asuka tap out in WWE, if I remember correctly.
Wasn't it Charlotte?
Yep.
That was her first loss.
Yes, it was. I think that's the only move that's ever made Asuka tap out. So
We shall see.
that we shall. All right. Moving right along here. Once it decides to load. We'll move into the women's 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match since we were just talking about the women's champions.
Okay.
So before we get into any predictions of this match, once it loads here, what is your opinion of the two teams that we've got? First, your opinions of the fact that they took out Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke off the Raw team this past Monday night and replaced them with Peyton Royce and Lacey Evans.
It could go either way because you would think Dana Brooke would be an easy elimination, but like in last year, she showed herself pretty useful. But to take someone like Dana Brooke and even Mandy Rose, I mean, Otis will be sad, can't see his girlfriend again. But taking out Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, I mean, I understand why you bring in Lacey Evans, but I don't know why you would put Peyton Royce in that lineup. That's almost like Shawn Michaels super kicked to Mike Knox going, who was that?
Ooh, I don't know if I'd go that far, but no. The main reason because Peyton and Lacey are a tag team right now that they put them in there.
Okay.
Why they decided to split up the Iconics to just make Peyton team up with Lacey, I don't know. But
because it was more iconic. That's why.
Wow, that's terrible. No.
I know.
So anyway, so for Raw, we've got the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, of course, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, Lacey Evans, Peyton Royce, and Lana. An interesting 5-woman team. Lana, who is now sitting at 9 weeks in a row of getting put through an announce desk by Nia Jax, mind you.
Man, she's getting more tables than Rusev is.
He's getting more screen time, I think, than Miro is, too. But
yeah,
that's not the point. Then SmackDown just got put completely together this last night on SmackDown. Team SmackDown, Bianca Belair, the EFT, Riot Squad, Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan, Natalya, and of course, you can't have Team SmackDown without Bayley.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
I mean, the woman was the SmackDown Women's Champion for over a year, so she makes sense on that team. It's very interesting that it took as long as it did for Natalya to finally get on to Team SmackDown. I do wonder, though, was she originally going to be part of Team SmackDown, or was she not? It's because last week in that Fatal 4-Way match, Chelsea Green was supposed to win that Fatal 4-Way match before she broke her wrist during the match. So was Natalya actually going to be in here, or was it Liv Morgan that wasn't going to be and Chelsea Green was going to be in there?
I mean, you would almost want Natalya in over. She's in my opinion, she's the better wrestler compared to Liv Morgan.
Well, yeah, I agree with that.
It's Liv Morgan. You never know what you're going to get. I mean,
Right.
It could be terrible or it could be, did that really just happen?
Right? I know, I've noticed that a few times. It's definitely an interesting team, these 5 women for SmackDown, just like Team Raw. At least Team SmackDown kind of came together on SmackDown after the match. There's going to be an issue between at least 2 of these women on Team SmackDown. You can already see it from yesterday. That being, of course, Bayley and Bianca Belair.
Oh, yeah.
Because Bayley wants to call herself the team captain, kind of like the whole AJ thing for Team Raw. It's a men's Survivor Series match. And Bianca Belair is kind of not cool with that, it seemed like yesterday.
I mean, but unlike AJ and the men, Bayley has quite the repertoire the word I want. I mean, like you said,
Yeah.
She's the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion.
True. Very true. It's another fact I want to bring up for this Team SmackDown. Bayley is the only woman from these 5 women who actually was on SmackDown pre-draft as well.
Holy smokes!
Yeah.
I did not realize that. Damn.
The other 4 women all came over in the draft from Raw. Team Raw wise, that's the same for 2 of the 5, but that's 3 women that are still on Raw from before the draft. Prediction for this match. I've seen some people predict this. I kind of wouldn't be surprised if Lana gets put through a table early on in the match and actually becomes the sole survivor like she's done in the Battle Royal in the previous. So I'm going to go with Lana picking up the win for Team Raw.
That makes both of us, because I was thinking the same thing. I think it'll come down to where she goes to the table early, but Bianca Belair thinks she has the match won, and then Lana takes it away at the end with a surprise roll-up or something like that.
Yeah, I can see that. Out of these 10 women, who do you think is going to be kind of the breakout star in this match? Who do you think they should give the most, maybe eliminations or the most time to shine brightest in there? A couple of women you can pick if you want to.
I'd say on the SmackDown side, it's got to be Bianca Belair. I mean,
I'd agree.
It has to be. But if it's not on the SmackDown side getting the big push with being Bianca Belair, part of me wants it to be Liv Morgan.
Right?
I think it'd be funny, but I mean, when else are you going to see Liv Morgan perform that well? This might be the perfect opportunity.
True. And I'd be fine with that, but I almost feel like Liv might be first or second to get eliminated from Team SmackDown, to be honest. I think the Riot Squad might be the first 2 to go for Team SmackDown. But who knows? Natalya could end up being 2.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be in Natalya, then the Riot Squad, and then something's going to happen between Belair and Bayley.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Belair will be the last SmackDown one standing.
Yeah. I definitely feel Bianca and Bayley will be the last 2 women standing for Team SmackDown.
I'm pretty sure Nia Jax is getting counted out or something.
Something's got to happen.
Yeah.
To her. I feel like I'd agree with you for Team SmackDown wise. Team Raw wise, Shayna Baszler has to be the one that gets the most time, so as to speak, I guess, here. But Lana, in the end, as we said, I feel like will be the one to pick up the win. But Shayna needs to be.
I mean, we're talking about breakout star here. It's got to be the iconic Peyton Royce.
Sure. No, I wouldn't be surprised to see Peyton or Lacey, one or the other. More than likely, Peyton be the first one eliminated, honestly.
Right.
From Team Raw.
I think they're going to be the first 2 eliminated, and then somehow you got to figure out how to get Shayna and Nia out.
Right.
Whether it be a count out or something.
I could definitely see Shayna choking out either Liv and or Ruby during the match. So, and perhaps even Natalya for that matter. We are talking about a woman who did eliminate 5 other women pretty quick and easily in an elimination chamber match earlier this year. So,
right.
Still
upset she didn't win the Royal Rumble.
Right? Me too. She should have instead of Charlotte.
Oh, yeah.
But they haven't treated Shayna anywhere near as good as they should have since they called her up to the main roster. It'll be interesting.
Everyone else.
Huh?
Sounds like everyone else that gets called up.
I know, right? Just now.
We give you a little short trial run, then we're not going to use you very well.
Hey, right? All right. Definitely figure there will be big things on that show, in that match anyway.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there has to be with the amount of talent you got in it.
Right. Could be some shocking eliminations, too. Who knows?
Maybe we'll see Nia finally go through a table.
Hey, I've read somewhere that might be what eventually happens. Lana puts her through a table. I don't know how the hell that's ever going to happen, but...
I'm thinking more Belair and Bayley somehow put her through a table.
Right. Well, I personally feel like this feud between Lana and Nia is going to keep going until eventually Charlotte Flair returns and helps out Lana. Because if you remember right, it was Nia Jax who took Charlotte Flair out backstage on an episode of Raw that she's been out from. So
Right.
that's my prediction. Charlotte eventually, not necessarily tomorrow night at Survivor Series, but eventually, I think Charlotte Flair will come back for her pound of flesh, so as to speak, from Nia.
I just hope they don't have Charlotte return at the Royal Rumble.
If they do, she better not win again.
Yeah, they don't need to have her win again. She shouldn't have won last year. That's enough.
No. Right?
I will say it'll be most likely be a returning woman superstar winning the Rumble. Just not Charlotte.
Maybe. We'll see.
I just want to smack Corbin's crown off. He looks so ridiculous.
If we are, then I apologize. Oh, there we go. We got you back here. Everything just went blank on my side. I don't know about you. So. Technical difficulties there for a moment. Almost like people didn't want us talking about Charlotte. Are you there?
What's up?
I'm just making sure we were good here. Because I had black. My screen had went black for a minute there. All right. We are still live. Good. Okay. Looks like we're good. Back on track. Let's go in. So we talked about the women's. Now for the men's.
All I'm hearing is like echo and like.
Are you not hearing me? You got me now? All right, 1 second. Let's see. Yeah, that's not working. I think I'm still in here, but we'll double check.
I'm having trouble hearing you, Tony.
You got anything at all from me?
Let me try one thing. I'll be right back.
Go for it. I don't know if it's you or if it's me. I'm going to double check the page.
I can hear you now.
You got me?
Yep.
Okay. Technical difficulties there, I guess. All right.
Hey, it happens to the best of us.
Yep. They say my screen went kind of a blackish and said there was some internet connection issues, and looks like we're still live. Assuming we're still live, so we'll move on. We just talked about the women's elimination match. We'll move on to the men's elimination match. Trying to get YouTube to pop up there so I can see if there's anything in there, but it's not working right on here. No. Anyway, so for the men's match, we've got Team Raw that's been decided for a few weeks now. You got the phenomenal AJ Styles with his bodyguard, Jordan. I'm sure he'll be with him. Man, that guy is one big, tall motherfucker.
Man, he's so big he might make the Great Khali look small.
I know, right? I mean, it's amazing seeing AJ in front of him doing the AJ Styles pose and seeing that guy behind him. Like, man, AJ looks like a midget in front of him. And AJ's no small. I mean, he's not a big guy, but AJ's still not a small guy either. So
Right. He looks like a Oompa Loompa with the guy, though.
I know, right? But you hear a little echo in the background. It's just double checking to make sure everything's still going on finding this dream. But then you got AJ Styles, who's been claiming to be the team captain over the last couple weeks, and everybody else has said, no, you're not captain. Going to make for quite an interesting team. Yep, it looks like a little. Pause that. I want it to go live. Mute it. Make sure it's playing. Okay, looks like we are still good. Good. Just wanted to double check. We've seen so much turmoil between this whole team. I mean, just last week or 2 weeks ago, whichever it was, we seen Riddle qualify in the last chance triple threat match. Speaking of that, I'm sure Elias and Jeff Hardy will probably be two of the Raw competitors in that Battle Royal, for that matter.
And you can't forget about Elias's guitar. There's another entrant right there.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, Riddle, Matt Riddle, whatever you want to call him. He just goes by Riddle nowadays, I guess, is what Vince wants him to go by. So, because of back history things, they don't want him to be Google as Matt Riddle. You got Sheamus, Keith Lee, and of course the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman, also making out Team Raw. This is an impressive team. If they can manage to somehow work together, they could be one of the best Survivor Series teams, in my opinion, that we've seen in a long, long time.
But
just
your key word there. Key word, if.
Yes, very much so is if. The issues we've seen between Sheamus and Braun Strowman and all of them with AJ Styles, pretty much. The only two men you know for sure will get along in this match as part of Team Raw is Keith Lee and Riddle, who have a history as a team pretty much going back to Evolve. So they're good friends.
You can't forget about the code names.
Yeah, you can't forget about the code names that Riddle gave them. Good old Fireface.
Hey, it's better than a jar of mayonnaise.
Yeah, true. He has been called that before, but I don't think Sheamus liked either one of those. So.
Right.
Nonetheless, then you got Team SmackDown. Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, new and improved Jey Uso, if you will. The Messiah, Seth Rollins, King Corbin, and we're going to get into this, but the newest member of Team SmackDown, Otis, with Chad Gable, I guess, in his corner. For one thing, you're going to see the 5 men on both sides of the ring, and then you're going to see outside the ring, I could just see Vince McMahon laughing it up at this and having a field day with this. You're going to see big old Jordan on one side standing outside the ring, and then you're going to see Chad Gable on the other side.
Little Shorty G.
Yes. I could just see Vince with that whole thing. Nonetheless, I'm glad Chad Gable is going by Chad Gable again. I'll give you that much. However, who in the blue hell decided to book Otis as part of Team SmackDown instead of, as you were talking about earlier, Big E, who's doing nothing at Survivor Series? I
mean, I would have figured you would have put Big E in this slot.
The only other person that would have made sense and that people were even predicting that would have been in this match was Lars Sullivan. I don't like the guy at all because of things that I've read that he's done in the past, but still, that guy is a beast, and why wouldn't you want him representing your team if he's going to be there?
Lars versus Braun, that'd be pretty freaking dope.
Right. But no, instead of Lars Sullivan or Big E, we get
Otis,
the Caterpillar. Like, really? Why?
They had to give him something. I mean, they took Mandy, they took Tucker, they took Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but still, give him the Battle Royal win then. Whatever, I don't care. Don't put him in this match. It's supposed to be the best of the best tagline here. How does Otis fit in that? I mean, Team Raw, you got pretty much the 5 best options that you had, other than, I mean, Randy Orton's not doing nothing now, but still.
You could have rather had Dolph Ziggler than Otis.
Yes. I would even took Dolph. Or even Daniel Bryan, for that matter. Even though he lost his qualifying match to Jay.
Or could we even say, what are we calling them now? Let's see, Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio, and Murphy Mysterio?
Sure. Nonetheless, I kind of have a feeling if Seth Rollins ends up, well, I'm sure he'll end up being in the match still because he didn't really get injured or anything, but I kind of have a feeling Seth Rollins will be one of the early eliminations more than likely in this match. I do know he is scheduled to take time off after Survivor Series for the baby
Yep.
that him and Becky are having.
I still can't believe that's a thing.
What, Seth and Becky?
Yeah.
Hey, to each their own.
I mean, he got lucky.
Yeah, he did. But man, this one's a tough one to call, in my opinion. Seth and Otis, I feel like probably will be early on eliminations for Team SmackDown. The strife and all the disagreements we've seen between everybody on Team Raw is what makes it harder to choose, in my opinion. I know some people have said that they shouldn't do it this way. They shouldn't have one team win both elimination matches. However, I kind of have a feeling Team Raw is going to pull out the victory in this one.
For sure.
Some way, shape, or form. Not to take anything away from most of the guys on Team SmackDown, but it's hard to pick against this Team Raw when you see AJ Styles, who has the experience, the veteranism, so as to speak, under his belt. You got the two big men, Keith Lee and Braun Strowman. Sheamus has been around quite a while. Riddle, newer, yes, but still, he's an impressive athlete.
But SmackDown's got their own big man, the Caterpillar.
Yeah, that big man doesn't compare.
I mean, then you got Corbin, I guess.
And King Corbin, I think, will go a decent amount of ways in this one. But for Team SmackDown, to me, the person that needs to be shown off the most or get the most eliminations or whatever you want to call it, be the MVP of Team SmackDown, comes down to two men. That's Kevin Owens and Jey Uso. KO hasn't done much since he was drafted over to SmackDown, so I just feel like he needs to have a good spotlight on him in this match.
Oh, I'm sure those will be the final two for SmackDown.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
It's going to be Owens and Uso for sure. But from what I'm hearing on about Monday Night Raw's team, it could be an interesting person that is the highlight of the team. Everyone's pretty sure it's either going to be Braun Strowman or Keith Lee, which I would love to see.
Me too.
But I have a feeling, based on what we saw between this person and Drew McIntyre,
Sheamus?
a big push for Sheamus in this match. Maybe a shot at the title later on.
I can see that happening. Be quite interesting. All right.
I think Jey Uso will eliminate Keith Lee, and then Sheamus bro kicks Uso's head off and wins the match.
All right. Nice.
I'm going Raw.
Nice prediction. Yeah, I got Team Raw as well. I'm not positive who I think is going to be the sole survivor or survivors, potentially, but I still think Team Raw is going to pick up the win again in both matches.
Oh, yeah.
So, before we dive into the main event, there's another big thing happening, of course, at Survivor Series, the best of the best tomorrow night. And I don't know that I'll have a graphic there, so I'm just going to get rid of this for a minute. But a man who has been a constant in WWE, he has been there exactly 30 years tomorrow night. 30 years to the day that the dead man arrived at WWE. The final farewell. Go ahead and give me your take on it. Maybe anything you want to say about The Undertaker and the 30-year farewell that we've got going on tomorrow night.
I mean, I know we got to start 30 years ago as part of, I believe it was Ted DiBiase's Survivor team.
Yep.
And he's had some of the best matches, some historical matches. Like on the Anchor podcast we did back then, we were talking about his Hell in a Cell match with Mick Foley.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it sucks to see his career finally coming to an end.
right.
But WWE, is it really coming to an end? Or is someone going to interfere and mess it all up?
Right. That's the thing. You never really know.
Right.
Can you trust that it's his actual final farewell, or is it going to lead to something? I have seen many people say that they want to see The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, involved in it in some way, shape, or form, and then have a match between those two where Taker kind of passes the torch.
That would be amazing.
It would be. There's a lot of people that are supposed to be a part of this final farewell tomorrow night. I've seen Savio Vega is supposed to be there. Rikishi is supposed to be there. A lot of the Bone Street crew, I believe is what it's called, the BSK.
Yep.
Supposed to be there. Yep. You got the Big Red Machine Kane supposed to be there as well. And whether or not they're actually there in the Thunderdome or via video, I'm not sure exactly, but we'll see.
I think I read something about Kurt Angle as well.
Yep, I've seen Kurt Angle supposed to be part of it as well. It's going to be, I have a feeling, an emotional time throughout. Yeah, I'm assuming they're probably going to give him a long promo section here, probably a couple promos. If somebody is to interfere, then yes, I think The Fiend would be a good choice. However, I'm not sure they'll do that because The Fiend's supposed to be moving over. Is supposed to be a good guy now instead of a bad guy. So I'm not really sure I believe they'll go that route. It could be the actual end of The Undertaker here. I wouldn't be surprised.
Or Randy Orton just come out and give him an RKO because he's not doing anything else now.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, like he said, he is the legend killer. What bigger legend to kill than The Undertaker?
True, but he did say a couple weeks on Raw, he's no longer the legend killer. He's the legend now. So
that's true. But that would be a good way to all of a sudden here comes Edge and spear Orton.
Yeah, that'd be fine too.
Oh yeah.
Either way, definitely going to be, like I said, an emotional night. It'll be interesting to see everybody that shows up for it, how they present everything as well. As you mentioned, Undertaker and Mankind's Hell in a Cell match, iconic, one of the greatest matches those two men have both been a part of. Both WrestleMania matches with Shawn Michaels.
Oh yeah.
Great matches.
One of the best rivalries ever.
Oh yeah. They've done it on Instagram. They did a tournament where everybody could vote on Undertaker's greatest matches, and those two matches are in the finals. So, against Shawn, WrestleMania 25 and 26. They might have. I don't think they've revealed a winner yet. They probably won't till tomorrow night for it. But last I knew, the WrestleMania 25 match was winning in the polls. So, I should say it's on Instagram mainly, but they do let you vote on Twitter and Facebook as well. So,
okay.
But it's been interesting over this last month. They've had Undertaker stuff on the network. I haven't seen all of it quite yet, but I'll get there. Of course, you got the Broken Skull Sessions Part 2 with The Undertaker tomorrow night after Survivor Series as well. So that should be some fun stuff to see. See where they go with that. All right. I don't see anybody else really other than The Fiend potentially getting involved in that, though, if anybody does. I seen somewhere on Twitter, I think it was today, that somebody said they wanted to see Sting perhaps come out there and set up a match between Sting and Taker that everybody's dreamed of. But last I seen, Sting is no longer under contract with WWE, so
I thought he was going to AEW.
That's what I seen at one point. He hasn't popped up there yet. So who knows? So we'll move into the main event, and this match has taken quite the turn over the last week. I honestly knew, I had read that there was supposed to be a championship change, title change, if you will, before Survivor Series. I wasn't expecting it to be this one, though. I honestly was expecting the Hurt Business to win the tag team titles off of the New Day, because I just figured WWE would throw a curveball at us and not give us the dream match of the New Day versus the Street Profits.
But not only do they give us that, we also got this dream match.
True that. And not the first time that we've seen these two men, but in this situation it is. So I know Drew's been on his quest ever since the Hell in a Cell to get back that WWE Championship. I was very surprised last week on SmackDown when he showed up to interrupt Roman Reigns, though. That's kind of when I felt like, okay, Drew is going to win this match on Raw Monday night and is going to take that WWE Championship back. He has to after the showdown they had last week on SmackDown.
Exactly. I mean, if he didn't, there'd be no point in it.
Right. Pretty much what I felt, too. And then the backstage segment that Drew McIntyre had with Sheamus, though, before the main event match on Raw, chef's kiss. That was perfect. Just see those two guys reminisce, and then Sheamus with the gifts of course, the kilt, if you will, and then the sword. Fun little fact here, I did see that was Vince McMahon's sword that was handed to Drew McIntyre. So the chosen one getting a gift from the chairman, really kind of cementing his spot, if you will. And then to go on, have a great match with Randy Orton, pick up the W. Missed, 3-4 Claymores before finally hitting the surprise Claymore to win the match.
Oh, yeah.
I think, honestly, I felt like that was their best match that they've had in the entire feud. Drew and Randy.
That could have been the Hell in the Cell match.
Right? The Hell in the Cell match was great, but
this was perfection.
Yeah. And then to see the contract signing last night on SmackDown, I mean, it was so unusual to have two guys on contract signing sitting down talking to each other. No microphones, mind you. But you still could hear everything perfectly fine, which was great by WWE to do it that way. And you could tell the tension between these two men, and you could kind of feel how big of a big fight feel this match has to it. I mean, this is the match that they had to go with, in my opinion, for the main event of Survivor Series. When you got the WWE Champion versus Universal Champion. We didn't get this last year. It's been 2 years since they've done WWE Champion versus Universal Champion at Survivor Series. And the last time we did, it was Daniel Bryan as the WWE Champion against Brock Lesnar as the Universal Champion, which was one of the greatest singles matches in Survivor Series history, according to WWE's Twitter page today. It was a very good match. However, this is just so much bigger than that. You got the two top guys from both brands. Drew McIntyre's ran Raw pretty much, in my opinion, this year. And Roman Reigns, of course, even though he was out for several months, has been SmackDown's top guy.
All Roman Reigns got to do is show up and just beat the crap out of people. And now he's got Jay to help him.
Yeah, I know, right? So this will be Roman Reigns' biggest test since he came back from his time off, in my opinion. No offense to Jey Uso, but Jey Uso is no Drew McIntyre. That's for damn sure. Drew McIntyre has shown over this last year, he's gotten beat, twice, I believe, in the last 1 year. And that was both times pinned by Randy Orton.
Yeah.
That's impressive. That's not something you usually see in WWE these days. So that tells you something. But nonetheless, we got it all down. Comes down to this: Raw WWE Champion Drew McIntyre, SmackDown Universal Champion Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman in his corner. The best Roman Reigns we've seen ever, in my opinion. I've loved this pairing between him and Paul. I know some people don't, but I just think it's been great. What's your opinions on this match? And then you can go ahead and give me your prediction before I give mine.
I mean, it's the dream match. There's no other match that you could have headline this pay-per-view.
Right?
From what I heard, what people think will happen, I really hope it doesn't, because basically McIntyre has worked his ass off to get that title back.
Yeah, he did.
And as much as I feel like Reigns is going to win this match, my gut is telling me otherwise. My gut is saying there's going to be a Claymore out of nowhere that Reigns is not expecting and he will not kick out from. So I'm going Drew McIntyre to win, But I really hope then Roman doesn't flip out, beat the crap out of Drew McIntyre, and here comes the Miz.
Oh God, no! If that happens, Miz better not win the title. That's all I'm saying.
I'll be so upset if that happens.
Me too. No offense to the Miz, he's a great athlete, he's a great competitor, but Drew has worked so hard for this and should be WWE champion, not Miz.
For sure.
Yeah, I've seen some reports saying that they think the Miz might cash in here. So before I give my prediction, Miz part, I don't want to see him cash in. I don't want him anywhere near this match, to be honest with you. He's supposed to be just a placeholder as Money in the Bank pretty much right now. Keep him that way. This match is going to be physical. They had these two men face each other at WrestleMania last year. That match did not live up to anywhere near as much as what anybody felt it should have been, in my opinion. Roman kind of ran through Drew for the most part in that match. This is a much different Drew McIntyre and a much different Roman Reigns now than what it was a year and a half ago.
Yeah, the roles are switched now. Now Drew's baby and Roman's heel.
Yes. And again, Drew's been given a bigger push than what he was at that point in time. And Roman was just coming back from his leukemia at that point. So this match is going to be physical. These two are going to beat the living hell out of each other. It's going to be probably close to a 30-minute match, I have a feeling, if not longer.
Yeah, at least 30.
It's got to be. When it all comes down to it, so I want to see Drew McIntyre win, but I feel, and I'm going to predict, that Roman Reigns will walk out with the victory in this match. So, I don't know. I have that feeling that some way, shape, or form, whether Jey Uso somehow gets involved or even perhaps Miz somehow gets involved, that Roman will pick up the Duke. Who knows? Even Randy could show up and cost.
Randy could.
But we'll see. There could be a lot of twists and turns. There could be people get involved. Who knows? This match could even end on a double DQ or something along those lines too. There might not be an actual winner.
This is where Retribution comes into play.
Yeah, that could be too. Who knows? I'm sure Retribution will make an impact at some point in time during the show.
Oh, for sure.
But that's the main event. Any other predictions or anything you got that you think's going to happen during the show tomorrow night?
I mean, the only other prediction I would have was for that Battle Royal, but I'm not making that because I don't know if who I want to win it is going to be in it. He better be, but that's all I'm going to say.
Right? No, it makes sense for Big E to be in there. Not having him do anything else, but I'd kind of agree probably somebody from SmackDown will win, but again, I'm not making a prediction either right now because not knowing who else in it. But I'm using their network, their website, and it doesn't tell you anybody that's in it.
Right. I mean, you would think that it's going to be someone SmackDown because all your big Battle Royal competitors from Monday Night Raw are already booked.
Sure. I mean, let me see something real quick. I know that's still showing on the side. 23 hours, 6 minutes to go until Survivor Series kickoff. Let's see. I just want to see who the biggest names are from Raw that are available. I mean, there's no way that they're having a Randy Orton be on a kickoff show for that matter. So I'm not even going to put him being in that battle.
Oh, there you go. R-Truth's going to win.
There you go. That could happen. I'm sure he'll be in that battle royal.
No,
Him and Drew
he'll get eliminated by Little Jimmy.
Sure. Just want to take a look here. Yeah, I need to catch up on that too. I haven't been watching NXT UK the last couple weeks or NXT.
Ooh,
You got to
you missed a huge announcement for NXT.
Oh, I've seen some highlights, and I know that there's War Games coming, 2 War Games matches coming up on War Games in a couple weeks.
Well, I'm looking forward to War Games. I'll tell you that, especially after one of the announcements happened.
Yeah. Let's see. Raw wise, you got Akira Tozawa who can be in that battle royal. Angel Garza. Hurt Business member Cedric Alexander, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin, I'm sure, will probably be part of that.
Drew Gulak for the win.
Yeah, maybe. Gulak will probably be in there. Elias, I'm sure, will be in there. Eric, Grand Metalik. Humberto
Why is
Carrillo.
Jason Jordan still on the page?
I have no idea because he's been backstage for a couple years now. Not wrestling. John Morrison could be in that battle royal. That's like JoJo. I don't know why they've got her on there either because she's had a couple of kids with Bray Wyatt.
Oh, yeah.
Lince Dorado probably will be in there. We said Retribution members will probably be in that battle royal. R-Truth. Oh, Ricochet. Can't forget about him. He'll probably be in that battle royal too.
Same with Apollo. You already mentioned that.
And Apollo Crews, yeah. Titus O'Neil, big man.
Tucker's going to win it.
I doubt Tucker will win it, but I'm sure he'll be in there too. If Miz and Morrison are not in the battle royals, then they're definitely getting involved in the main event in some way, shape, or form. That's what I feel.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Who do we have from the SmackDown side? Aleister Black, who hasn't done anything since getting drafted to SmackDown. Apollo Crews, that you mentioned. Big E. Don't think Bo Dallas will be in there because he hasn't been seen on TV in a long time. Cesaro and Shinsuke, I'm sure both will be in there. Chad Gable might be in there. Who knows? I'm sure he'll be with Otis in the tag team match. Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler.
The Mysterio family will be there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure the Mysterios and Murphy will all be in there.
Jackson Riker.
I don't think him or this Forgotten Sons will be part of it because they haven't been used in months.
Typical call-ups.
Well, there's political reasons for that. Jackson Riker made some comments he shouldn't have, so they've been pulled off TV. Kalisto will probably be in there.
Lars Sullivan, probably not.
I was going to say, if Lars Sullivan's in the Battle Royal, it's going to come down to either him or Big E, in my opinion, that'll win it. Mojo could be in there, but I haven't seen him in months. A couple months.
Murphy's got to be in there.
Yeah. Why have they got Ali on the SmackDown roster? It's just crazy. Can tell they don't update this as much as they need to.
Right.
Like I said, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode will both be in there more than likely. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So probably be about 20 men, I would say, give or take. But again, if it's SmackDown competitor that wins it, which wouldn't be surprised by, it'd probably be Lars Sullivan or Big E, in my opinion, depending on if they're in the Battle Royal or not. But,
or Murphy. Murphy is probably the only other one I could see with. Or Daniel Bryan. One of those four from SmackDown you would think would be the front runners.
Yeah, right. It'll be interesting to see who else in it and who gets that opportunity or not. Who knows? They could put in a surprise person too, for that matter. All right.
I mean, they could.
So in the long run, I wouldn't be surprised if, since there's 7 matches altogether, if they possibly do a 3-3 going into the main event. 3 wins for Raw, 3 wins for SmackDown. I don't know that I necessarily picked that way with the predictions, but still, I wouldn't be surprised by it. And then see either Roman or Drew pick up the ultimate victory for their brand. 2 years ago, Raw won every single match other than the kickoff show match, I believe it was. That is not going to happen ever again, I don't think.
Yeah. Back when they had the original Invasion thing.
Yeah. And last year, of course, NXT and SmackDown were tied with 3 wins apiece, I believe it was. So Raw only had 2. That was definitely 1 or 2, one or the other.
And then Seth Rollins threw a little baby.
Yeah. Seth Rollins turned heel the night after.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
And blamed it all on Rey Mysterio. We see where that went.
He didn't blame it right on Rey right away, but yeah, we've seen. Thankfully, that feud is over. It was supposed to be over now, anyway. But yeah, should be an interesting show. See how things turn out. I'll be glued to my set, especially during the Undertaker farewell. See who all the surprises are for that.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of surprises, I'm sure. I mean, with that long of a career and all the rivalries and stables he's been a part of,
Right?
I wouldn't be surprised if Gangrel showed up.
Who knows? I kind of in a way feel like Vince probably won't bring Gangrel in because he was just part of AEW's pay-per-view, but
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about that.
but who knows? Stranger things can happen. Have happened. We shall see. Yeah, the Undertaker's definitely could see members of the ministry, could see JBL show up there. Who knows? For that matter too. But him and Taker have been good friends for a long time. All right. So anything else you want to put out there before we end the show then? That was Survivor Series wise. I don't got that. Oh,
I
that's
think
fine.
we covered it all.
All right. Well then, I'm gonna share screen again. We'll before I go to the cutoff here. Next time, YouTube wise, we won't have another prediction show till Royal Rumble season in 2 months.
Woo!
Royal Rumble is always a fun one to do.
Oh, yeah.
But Anchor.fm will be on there with an NXT TakeOver War Games prediction show in a couple of weeks. And then after that will be the TLC prediction show. I don't think AEW's got anything coming up till like February. So those will be the main things in store from now.
Sounds good.
That we're gonna close it out with the theme song for tomorrow night's Survivor Series. We got, of course, AC/DC's. Oh, it doesn't show me the name of the song there.
I think it's Shot in the Dark.
There it is, Shot in the Dark. Yes, I'll say the brand new song from AC/DC. Yet another AC/DC song because WWE's used a few of them over the years. I got no problem with that because I'm a big AC/DC fan. So, nonetheless, thanks for joining, John.
Thank you.
As always, and we'll catch you guys next time.